to write some shit down.
Well, I'm ready.
Sounds cooler every time you say it. What would you consider Jethro Tull? Mainstream or...
Oh, I got a question on that also. So you write it down, and then we'll decide during the radio game.
You're killing...
I know.
What was the George Costanza where he goes, Independent George, I think is what... You're killing Independent George. All right, I'm going to put Jethro Tull up top here. I'm also going to put one up here just to kind of with you. And then I'll go...
To mess with me here?
We've been through a lot tonight, you and I. Where do you want to start? Animal, vegetable, or mineral? Oh, here, I'll do it like this. Do you want to start Newt's, I can't do it like that, personal life, or...
Do Newt's and...
Newt's. All right, we'll start with Newt's. You want to start the thing, or do you just want to start... What do you want to do? I know how you do your thing, your little...
What do you mean by the thing?
Where we talk a little bit, then we do the by the way, when you put that shirt on, you didn't fix the collar. It's like...
Do I look disheveled?
It looks... I don't know what the right word is, and I can think of a real dirty word to say about it.
Is it any better?
That's 100% better. Yeah, it looked like you were just leaving the locker room, trying to get away from the press. You know, as a former Division I athlete, you must love the Olympics. Tell us about the Olympics, Mark. What's your favorite sport?
This is the Ascertainers. Can I change the subject real quick?
Go nuts, donuts. Do it. Hi, you're probably in the wrong room, but just in case, this is the Ascertainers. We are your English Lit 307 class, and we are on episode 70-something, which, I mean, seriously, who knew?
Depending on how well it goes, 72, if we're numbering.
There's this... this night was being set up to go so well, and then we hit a little bit of a speed bump once we got back home from Newt's. But we'll talk about Newt's in a second.
Yeah, let's finish the intro.
Yes, we are the Ascertainers. We're a podcast about kind of music, kind of other common interest stuff. Mark is the podfather. You want to say hi to Mark? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Mark. Welcome to our show. And sit back, relax. And your favorite room is the room you listen to us in. Because you said something about a room.
I was referring to it like as a college class where you're in the wrong room.
Oh.
This is an English Lit.
I was thinking, wherever your Davenport is.
This is modern tannery. Davenport, you say. Davenport. So would that imply that the human buttocks are a davin? Because what do? A port is where the davin goes. A Davenport would mean a... Why didn't they just call it an assport? Was that already taken?
The way your mind works sometimes.
Did Sears already take that one? Cocksuckers. Sears, way to go, man. By the way, I bet Sears is just pissed about Walmart. Sears was the original Walmart. People would buy houses on Sears, the Sears
catalog. You're right.
And then along came Walmart and just schooled everybody. It's like they took their eye off the ball.
What's the other one? Montgomery Ward's. They did everything. They had automotive shops.
But you know what then? They decided to get a little hip in the 90s and just call themselves Ward's. You know, this is not your father's Montgomery Ward's.
Did they really change
Ward's.
it?
Oh, it was called Ward's at the end.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know that because in 1988, late 88, the missus and I, we just got off the Oregon Trail and didn't die of dysentery or...
Oh, so you were playing the game?
No. Well, it's just that's when that was in vogue. But we bought our first set of furniture from there. We bought a love seat and a sleeper sofa from Ward's. I think it was just Ward's at the time. Maybe it was Montgomery Ward's. But that's how I knew it. But it was $488 for a sleeper sofa. Not a bad one either, and a love seat. So we were set up pretty good.
Did you ever sleep on the sleeper sofa?
No, I lived there. I slept on my fucking bed. But I know that some people did, and they didn't love it.
Yeah. Very thin mattress.
It's the bar that goes right about mid back. I don't know the spine, like C7 or...
I think the design came from like prisons or something, because they were very uncomfortable.
They were like, people are buying this. This is so easy. Well, let's put spikes in it and see what they do then. So anyway, have we been properly introduced?
I don't think you introduced
I'm Jim.
yourself.
I'm the other ascertainer. Mark is my boss. I just do what he tells me to.
Wait, when I could have been ordering you around?
If anybody hears this, I'm blinking really fast and I'm doing that one hand thing here in my basement. And Mark's here all the time. He makes us record.
Giving me turkey sandwiches.
Yes, I'm so relaxed after a couple turkey sandwiches. And then he gives you another turkey sandwich, and then I don't remember anything for about a week. But we as a podcast, we were born in the back booth of a little restaurant nearby. What would you call it? Is that a restaurant?
It is, but it kind of sounds like the David and David song.
Oh, welcome to the Boomtown?
Yeah, in the back of a Denny's. Isn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good, well-written song. It's a good written song, I think. But, so Newt's Mark and I, Jim, and a guy named Todd, who lives a couple doors down, who at one point we were all next-door neighbors.
Yeah.
But Mark moved away.
All in a row.
Yeah, a couple little maids in a row. But, what's funny is that we didn't really get together that often when we were not neighbors, and then Mark moved 2 miles away. And then all of a sudden it became interesting. He was like forbidden fruit at that point.
Wow.
And so Mark hatched the idea. It's all Mark's idea. And then he just said, I need somebody who might be dumb enough to do this with me. And then he picked me. So thanks, Mark.
You're the only one that I knew that could carry a podcast.
Oh, my God.
You do a great job.
Oh, I'm weeping with salty tears. In fact, speaking of that, do we have any chips? So, all right. So we are going to talk tonight about which is tonight. We have 2 topics.
Let's finish the Newts because it was a wonderful time at Newts tonight.
Oh yeah, we broke into Newt. Well, it was wonderful. For you tell me why you thought it was wonderful, and I'll
Corey came out
it in.
and spent a lot of time with us, and he was very relaxed tonight. We had a really nice time laughing and joking and talking about just about anything.
It's true. Corey's he's a solid dude, and I do enjoy making him laugh because when he doesn't think something's funny, he doesn't laugh. So if he laughs, it's probably funny.
And he made me laugh a lot tonight also.
That's probably, I think I've talked on previous, like I said, something about I like making my mom laugh, but my mom doesn't have a high laugh threshold. But to get Corey to laugh is he's not going to give you a, what do you call that? A pity laugh.
Yeah, he's not going to do a courtesy laugh.
He will not reinforce non-funny shit. Yeah. So when he laughs, it's good. It's good for the soul. But we were told by our friend Sarah, who's one of the kind of main bartenders at Newt's, who's a friend of the show, so she might hear this. But she goes, you guys got to come in next Saturday because I'm training in a new bartender, and she's really fun, and you'll like her. So, for whatever reason, we did not record on a Friday this week. We recorded on a Saturday. We golfed. Talk about that in a sec. But then we came to Newt's, and there she was. And she gave us multiple names. So I'm not sure what her name is. I think it's Beth. But she was trying to say Becky just to be, clever. And I'm not very smart.
Well, I think Corey was making a joke at the beginning. He called her Becky. And then it was an inside joke. So
should we not implicate Beth? Is that her? I mean, seriously.
It is Beth.
Okay, good. Well, Beth is the new shooter there at Newt's, and she seems very fun and very awesome. And she was nice to us, and she'll probably be nice to you because we're not that great of people. And I would say anyone who's nice to us will be nice to other people.
Yes. Actually, everyone was very nice to us. They did us a courtesy nice tonight.
You think?
No, I think they were all...
We met I don't know if she was a runner or I think the hostess or whatever, but her name was Audrey. You don't meet many young Audreys. No. Audrey is probably less than under 20 years old. And it's like, Audrey, that reminds me of my old old across the street neighbor. You know what Audrey's husband name? I can't say last name, but her husband's name was Ferd.
Wow.
Ferd, which I would assume means for Ferdinand.
Yes, that's what I would
And
guess.
he was not a bull. So he must have been, but I think he was super Scandinavian. So what the fuck? Where does a Ferd come from out of the Scandinavian countries?
I don't know.
Huh. Well, I'll be able to do a little research. Maybe I'll call Peggy, I'll send a link to Audrey and Ferd's kid, Peggy, who is a very skilled, writer. She has a blog that just blew my mind. So my mom had a bunch of neighborhood ladies, including Audrey, Peggy's mom, and when one of the bridge club moms, so I think there's 8 people in a bridge club. Does that sound about right, or 10?
Yeah, you would have 2 tables, 8.
Okay, so when the first bridge club mom died, Peggy wrote this completely compelling and heart-wrenching story about these women that would come together and otherwise have their lives, but on bridge night it meant this, and it was really something. So I'll shoot this out to Peggy and Audrey. Audrey, Beth, Newt's, welcome, and go to Newt's. If you haven't been to Newt's in Apple Valley, Minnesota, go there. Tell them
TheAscertainers sent you.
Yes. What next?
Let's do errors and omissions.
Oh, I got a few.
I do too.
Regrets. I've had a few.
You know, you were going to talk about...
but then again...
combined songs.
Too few to mention.
Tainted Love and Where Did Our Love Go? One was done by Gloria Jones and one was done by the Supremes in 1964.
Ooh, Where Did Our Love Go? Totally was a Supreme song.
But then Soft Cell melded them together.
All right. I like it. I encourage all to seek that out. My first errors and omission is that you brought up a Moody Blues song called The Voice, and I said, I think that's the one where it says Once Upon a Time. Totally separate songs.
Isn't Once Upon a Time called Once Upon a Time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't want to correct you.
But can I say this? As a Moody Blues, if you're a Moody Blues fan, the distance between Nights in White Satin and I'm Just a Singer in a Rock and Roll Band to Once Upon a Time and The Voice, I could see how Moody Blues fans and Rush fans are very alike because that band evolved.
I would agree with that.
Ton. Both those songs are very interesting to listen to, but I'm not sure I like them. Does that make any sense?
It does.
I can appreciate all of the tons of synthesizers and tons of work that went into it, plus a pretty good groove for the song. But I don't think I would seek it out ever again.
And then
what do you call that?
You would throw in Seesaw, which is kind of like a rock pop hit.
What is that? How does that work? Or how does the lyrics of that? I remember listening to it. I go, "This is a Moody Blues song. This is the most elementary.
Right.
It's like a children's song."
Yeah, exactly.
Do you remember how the words go? I can look it up.
I don't.
All right. Well, we'll
Ride My Seesaw.
Yes, ride my seesaw to a place. I mean, it's like such a Moody Blues sounding song, but it's like the lyrics they don't match up with how killer the fucking beat is and the rhythm and all that. I feel like I want to play it. I want to break our copyright laws.
Oh, and you were bringing up commercials?
Yes.
With people selling out?
Yes.
I heard a Neil Diamond VW commercial.
Do tell.
It was like listening to Bob Seger.
It
just hit me like, Neil, why? It's not like you need the money. Well, does he think he's going to get younger fans to listen?
Okay, this is just me singing this. I'm just doing this as kind of humming it. I'm, here I am thinking of the lyric. This is certainly not the Moody Blues live on YouTube or whatever. Oh my God, in classic Moody Blues fashion, I'm disappointed at the lead-in. Oh, do you want to talk for a little bit? It's going to be about a half hour before they start singing.
It's kind of like Donovan and some of his stuff he did.
I guess, but I'm already mad that I put Moody Blues on. Just play the song. Here it comes. Maybe. This is, once it gets going, this is a great song. But he goes, ride my seesaw.
Right. Hermits could have sang that.
It's true. And I desperately want to get sued by the Moody Blues estate or whatever, you know. I think it would be so great because that would make us broke. Us. We're not even a thing. You can't break us. And but it would give us like 4 more listeners.
Well, we go into the negative.
It would give us the 4 Moody Blues listeners that are still alive. And we would be up to that many. We're almost at 3,000 listens, but we've had the 70.
And I'm getting tired of always downloading these.
Yeah, you probably are. This Mark is $29.99 and I'm 1. I don't want to listen to this shit after we put it out.
I got one more, and then you have the floor.
I got a ton.
Ram. The album was Ram, not Ram On. Ram On was a song off of the album Ram.
So it was called Paul McCartney Ram.
Correct.
Interesting. Where my stuff
was it really interesting, or was that just?
No, I'm trying to transition. In. So my biggest era in Omission comes from it's like a hybrid. This is a very efficient, because I talked about how Greg Raleigh and Steve Perry used to share vocal duties for Journey.
And I listened to that. He was just a backup singer.
Well, who was a backup
Greg
singer?
Raleigh.
Okay, unless you're listening to Feeling That Way, which then transitioned, it was one of those songs. Feeling That Way and Anytime were often played on album Oriented Rock together.
I did not listen to those because those are not the ones you brought up on the podcast.
I know. But then there's another Journey. I'll tell you right now, Feeling That Way and Anytime were on Infinity, and just a great album, and just a really good how 2 songs came together. The other is Lovin' Touchin' Squeezin' / City of the Angels. And I think that was on Evolution, though. So that was more of a total...
But Greg didn't sing...
No. So the Greg Raleigh ends at Feeling That Way and Anytime. So post-Infinity, I think he was gone. They brought in some guy named like Jonathan Cain or something like that to play keyboards. And just before we finish on Greg Raleigh, he was actually in Santana when he was like 17 years old with Neil Schon. And then they fell out of that to form Journey, apparently. There's no way it was a coincidence that they were both in Santana.
Interesting.
Oh, thanks, Mark. Thanks for ixnay on the condescension A, or whatever the hell Wayne's World would say. But I thought of, there was some other combo songs, you know what I mean, where we talked about, like, so it's kind of like Errors and Omissions with a little extra. So there's another one that we're all familiar with is We Will Rock You and We Are the Champions.
Yeah.
This Beat Goes On and then Switching to Glide.
The Kings.
Fantastic. Also, think of this lyric. I mean, the Kings were never taken seriously as anything. They were just a party band, right? Nothing matters but the weekend.
From a Tuesday point of view.
Right? I mean, that is... If you just sat back in your beanbag chair and put your bong down and just said, you know what? These guys are more like shamans than musicians. I mean...
No, from a 20-year-old, they're 25. I mean...
Brother, I'm 60, and there's been certain Tuesdays where I'm just like, you know what? I just want to get to the weekend. And those are very... I think those are...
What day is it today? Is today a weekend? I'm retired, so
yeah,
I don't...
I guess they're all the same to you. There was a... Oh, my gosh. So, I'm going to throw this in.
Oh, he's looking up his phone.
No,
again.
I'm scrambling. I'm multimedia here today. There was a lyric that I heard that I'm like, how in the F? And it comes from a combined song, actually, which is Heartbreaker and Live and Love and Made.
Yeah.
By, is it pronounced Led Zeppelin? Led Zeppelin.
With a purple umbrella and a fifth in hand.
It's the second verse, I think. Alimony. Oh, shit. This all made sense before I hit the Newts and then had a goddamn alimony, paying your bills, living, loving. She just a woman. Here's the line. When your conscience hits, you knock it back with pills, living. That's a strong lyric. All right. Well, so that's my errors and omissions are complete. You want to talk about? Let's do a radio game. Okay.
We got to get a radio game in there.
We should. We will. And I just realized that we're going to do a different topic tonight. We're not doing. Oh, I don't think I gave it away. We're doing Southern Rock this one.
No, we're doing
Misheard lyrics.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Totally cool. Mark just gave you the most random number. So we're going to be done.
East side.
We're going to be done at 35. Ish.
Wait.
Look at
so as my watch says 18.
What is with your watch?
What's wrong with it?
What's right with it? It's like, how many inches tall is your watch from your wrist to the top of the watch?
I've had this watch for...
What do you do during the week where you need a watch like that?
It's an Armatron. I thought everyone had an Armatron.
Is that a Timex?
No, Armatron.
Oh, that's the brand? What is it? Can I ask you a question?
It could start my car.
I don't believe you. What does it do? And why is it that big? And why aren't you stronger? That arm should be so much bigger from having to lug that goddamn enormous watch around. What does it do? Does it time when you run?
It does. It does all that stuff, but I don't use it anymore because I got apps on my phone that Run Keeper.
I'm being very serious here, and I know that you don't like how I question people, but why
I've had this.
You wear that huge watch?
Well, I used to swim and run, and I used to time it on my watch, but now you have other things to do that. Do
you not know how the latch works? I can help you get it off. I mean, we can just cut it off.
Huh?
Did you put it on today?
No, I've had it on for years. I don't know.
Have you never not taken it off for years?
Well, the police said don't ever take it off.
I know, the same thing with the thing on your ankle. But I'm not going to fall for that again. Man, that was uncomfortable, that taser. But, so you put that on every day, or that's always been there and I just haven't?
In my job, I always had to wear a watch.
Which you have been retired from for how many years?
3. Well, no, maybe 4 now. A long time.
Go on.
But I feel naked without it. I have several watches for different...
Okay, Ron Burgundy. Several leather-bound books. Do any of them smell of mahogany? Honest to God, I've never seen that giant watch.
I've worn it every time.
I'm worried about it hitting me. I'm sitting across the table from you. I'm worried about
it's something... in every photo that we take.
I don't look at those. So, do you notice my watch? You know why? By the way, one of the best, I think, comedies ever. Forgetting Sarah Marshall when he's learning how to surf.
Oh yeah,
and he talks to when he finally learns that he's out in the ocean with his.
Paul Rudd.
Kunu. Yes, Paul Rudd. Kunu, which is his Hawaiian name. And the other guy's name is Pill Pete. But he goes, God, you don't wear a watch. He goes, yeah, I just don't really care about the time anymore. And he goes, plus I got a cell phone. So anyway, I noticed, I also have a cell phone. So good luck with that watch.
I wear a watch everywhere. Like I said, I feel naked without it.
All right, well, I just want to tell you right now, just for some day, like maybe a national holiday when there's no mail or anything that you're going to miss, just go without the watch. But, all right, so Mark's watch, that wasn't on the list.
No, well, let's do the radio game. Let's get off of Mark's attire.
I think I've got a pretty tight radio game intro. The radio game is a thing that we do on 99.999% of our episodes. It is where both Mark and I will list 4 bands, 2 that are more common bands and 2 each that are less common, like kind of make it more interesting. And then we have a local radio station queued up on this cool little digital device.
It is cute.
It's something. And it's running out of battery, so we better hurry this up. And if somebody guesses the band that's playing, then they get bragging rights. And that's really what it comes down to. We should put money on this.
Either that or what you said earlier, have a plaque board, something that we could write on.
Yeah, because there have been, how many 70 episodes? I bet we have had
7,
maybe 10 winners.
I think it's less. Under 10.
Less than 10. So yeah, it's a big thing if you win it. So I'll say this. So
way to talk it up.
So since I talked it up, you tell me your first 2.
I'll give my first 2 legacy. I'll go with Roxette and Till Tuesday. I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ.
You should have seen the look.
Did you hear the table when I hit my hand fell on the table? Like, did I miss something here? What the hell did I just say?
That was the funniest thing I ever saw.
Oh, good for you.
Oh my goodness.
I'm glad you're amused by this goddamn thing here.
You know, people might like Roxette until Tuesday because voices carry.
You're talking to Rush fan, and Amy Mann was from Till Tuesday was on Voices Carry Rush.
Oh
no, I'm sorry, no, wrong. She was on. No, that's their song. She was on one of my favorite ever, Time Stands Still. Boom.
Oh, Rush, I didn't know that.
Rush fans. It's one of the best lyrics ever. Summer's growing fast. Summer's going fast. Nights growing colder. Children growing up. Old friends growing older. Freeze this moment a little bit longer. That's a solid Neil Peart lyric. Okay, go.
I'm going to go with AC/DC.
Ooh.
Brian Johnson.
All right. So this was implemented last episode. We didn't really agree on it, but it seems that we both remembered it. We remember. So if you're going to pick AC/DC, you have to pick an era. You're going new AC/DC, post 1981.
Yeah.
Okay. So AC/DC Johnson
and Doobie Brothers.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I have a Skunk Baxter reference later if we need to talk about it. So I went with Jethro Tull and Foghat.
Oh, that's what I went with. I went with Foghat last week.
Yeah, you didn't win, did you?
No, I didn't.
Loser.
If you win this week, I'm going to be angry. Honeymoon Suite and Procol Harum.
I got a new girl now, and
she's a lot like you.
Whiter Shade of Pale. I like both those bands a lot.
Why my new girl looks like Jim? I don't know.
I like both those bands a lot. I'm going with Blondie and Autograph. Oh my God, it's Greg Kihn. That would have fallen so close to.
Oh, and I had that.
It's called The Breakup Song, and it's a great song. If you haven't heard Greg Kihn, Kihn, from I think the album Conspiracy. He also had Rock, Kin, Roll, but the breakup song, we'd broken up for good about an hour ago. It's up there with the, like, if you was like, what's a perfect, like, it's not a rock song so much, but just whatever. It's a great song. Listen to it. We lost.
I don't think it's a great. I would never classify it as a great song.
It's a great lyric. Are you kidding me?
So what should I add to this? Okay. I can't.
All right,
I can't
be a bit lazy. I think you know why. I think he was like, I got so much good shit in here. I got to water it down, otherwise it might blow up. It might blow up the goddamn AOR music stuff. So we've introduced ourselves. We've talked about Newts. We've talked about our sponsor, Newts. By the way, go to Newts if you haven't heard of Newts. Apple Valley, Minnesota. Tell them the Ascertainers say to stop on by. San Diego Smash Burger. I ordered it tonight without the basil mayonnaise concoction.
Well, you got it on the side.
I got it on the side, but I enjoyed it without because it was a little less, a little more manageable. No finger messiness. I think they could dial it down or leave it off. But either way, yummy. Really good.
A shout out to Beth at Newt's.
The new girl.
She brought out the bacon. They forgot to put bacon on my burger
she
that
brought
I
out
give
the
the
bacon, all right. She brought out like a buffet plate of bacon. And guess who ate it?
Not me.
What has 2 thumbs and 8 marks bacon? This guy right here. I did. And it was, my cardiologist is so excited about it.
But our topic that we were going to talk about was lyrics that people screw up in rock songs. An example of what I was talking about was 2 Tickets to Paradise would be 2 Chicks in a Paradise.
Okay.
So this is where we're going.
This is good.
With this.
Because I was worried. Because when I was like, I'm like, oh yeah, there's some obvious ones. Like Manfred Mann. It's Blinded by the Light. And it's the original version by, I believe,
Bruce Springsteen.
Original writer is Bruce Springsteen, and then done by. Well, I think in Springsteen's it's not. You couldn't mistake it, but Manfred Mann kind of sang it weird. But it's cut loose like a deuce,
Wrapped up like a deuce.
wrapped up like a deuce. Another runner in the night.
It's about a car.
Yes, but in the sense of Manfred Mann, it sounds like, where is it?
Wrapped up like a douche.
Wrapped up like a douche.
When I was going through high school, they would always make fun of that. That's wrapped up like a douche.
Yes.
So
there's one example, and the other classic example is Jimi Hendrix, where in Purple Haze he goes, "Excuse me while I kiss this guy."
you're right.
But instead of saying he said "kiss the sky," a lot of people thought he said "kiss this guy."
Talking about Jimi Hendrix, people used to think that he had drugs in the tie he wore around his forehead, and that it seeped into his skin and made him high during the concert.
Sweet.
So
Is that true?
I think it was a wives' tale,
I'll tell you right now, if that guy could play guitar with those drugs, then get every guitar player those drugs, because he was a witch.
Elton John, Rocket Man.
A lot of Elton John. Yes. Which lyric?
Burning out. You say it. What you think it is.
I know there's a lot of Elton John stuff that's burning out across the sky.
People think it's burning out his shoes out here, but it's actually burning out his fuse up here alone.
Yes. See, I knew this topic was so I looked up. So I'm a lazy guy. I went to the couple that I know right away. There's another one that I know right away, and it was Jethro Tull Aqualung, where it was spitting out pieces of his broken lung, and it's broken luck. It's like, that doesn't really make such a good, like, whatever. Golden Earring, where it goes, and I'm spinning out in a nude sunrise, and it's new sunrise. So
Oh, yeah.
there's not anything that's like really that. And then I look up some stuff. It's like, oh, the Beatles has one. I want to hold your hand. Some people think he said, I want to hold your ham. And I'm like, come on. And there's like 3,000 versions or examples of where it's just the most innocuous, like not even great. So I hope you came with some strong shit today.
I didn't. I have another one like that one. The Stones. I'll never be your beast of burden. I'll never be your pizza burger.
See,
I've never, ever thought that.
well, see, here's the thing, Mark, my trusted companion. You're like, who would be the Lone Ranger, and what was the Lone Ranger's guy?
Tonto.
Who was Kimosabi?
Kimosabi, what Tonto would say to the Lone Ranger, hey, Kimosabi.
All right, well, one of us has to get to the point where it's like, we have to get to another. I have one. No, most of the ones, it's like, oh, there's so many. And it's like, you would think between all the Deep Purple and all the Black Sabbath and all where it would be like this, like really like, but they're kind of just slips of tongue or, like misinterpretations.
Well, like In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
Well, that's a whole
Different.
episode, because I literally thought, and I'm kind of a music file. Oh, and here's the other thing, is that I study lyrics. You know me, like I'm the lyrics
do.
guy, and you're like the music guy or the instrumental guy, maybe, whatever. I feel like I'm just screaming at everybody.
You are, and it's making my ears hurt.
As it should. So it's hard because I always, whenever I misunderstood a lyric, I would look at it right away and I would go like, oh, okay, that's what he actually said. So there's not a lot that's not on my like radar as that was one of those things. But I know there's a ton out there. Maybe we can revisit this or something.
If you didn't have the album back in the day with the lyrics on it, there was no looking it up on your phone.
That's true.
So you wouldn't know. You would just you'd be like Weird Al My Bologna or something like that.
Weird what?
Weird Al Yankovic?
Sure.
What did I say?
You said a couple things. Lankovic. My Bologna?
My Bologna.
For my sure one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one was better. Weird Al is an American treasure. There was one that I think everybody can relate to, which was ELO. Don't Bring Me Down. Gross. And I always thought it was Bruce.
Bruce, yes.
It's Groose. And they talk about that's actually what, I don't know what Groose means, but it's Groose, Groose. So we got that going for us. Then there was one that got, remember when Judas Priest got in trouble and Black Sabbath got in trouble because kids were like unending themselves or whatever they call it, ending themselves.
Who was that?
What they were listening to.
It was the Nebraska.
Tipper Gore.
No, I thought it was.
Bob Dole?
Yeah, his wife was another one that went after that.
Well, Tipper Gore was totally into it. Might have been. I don't think Elizabeth Dole gave a shit about that. But point is that that's when like Twisted Sister showed up in court,
right?
And Rob Halford and Ozzy Osbourne and stuff like that. But Paranoid, I told you to enjoy life. I wish I could, but it's too late. But some people said, I told you to end your life. And, it was convenient if somebody had that on the turntable when they decided to do something, that you can't undo. So.
I think that was covered in an earlier episode where I went to some church thing where they were saying rock and roll was killing kids and stuff like that. Yeah.
It's like Footloose. Another one,
Good Goose.
Steely Dan.
Footloose, good goose. I want to make it with a moose.
Good goose. There's one that actually I thought of on the golf course today, which was Kenny Loggins. I thought it was I Went to the Danger Zone, but it's Highway to the Danger Zone.
Oh, yeah.
But that's not consequential. That's not like a thing. Who cares? It's a victimless crime.
Yeah, Highway to the Danger Zone. That's from Top Gun. Come on. You got to know that.
There's another one where, are you reeling in the years? Are you gathering up the cheese? Have you had enough of mine? It's actually, are you gathering up the tears?
I never ever thought differently.
Do you remember when on the last episode when I said, is there remember we're talking about how bands would do commercials or...
Right.
And I thought, I wonder if there's one for Viagra. And I thought, maybe solid as a rock.
It was a Christian singer.
Well, no, it was Ashford and Simpson. They were very much in the pop scene in the 80s, 70s and 80s. And I remember them. They sang Reunited and It Feels So Good. Also, technically could go both ways on the Viagra thing. But I remember seeing them on Saturday Night Live and how me and my buddies in school made fun of. It was them, and I think Peaches and Herb were on a couple weeks later. So there were like these duos that were a thing. So anyway, Ashford and Simpson.
You're making fun of them, but they are actually on Saturday Night Live. So
I'm not making fun of them.
No, you said
it's not like Paul Simon. It was like not a household name band. So anyway,
whatever helps you sleep at night.
Hey man, I don't know if I don't.
Well, if you're going with the silly ones, well, since she's put me down, I've been out doing in my head, which is not correct English, but that's the Beach Boys. But people said, well, since she put me down, I've got owls puking in my bed.
Well, that's
just silly.
It is.
So The Hollies, which is a great band.
Hollies had some great. So I thought about the Hollies. I'm like, what? Like, is it a Wings? Is it a? I know there were so totally lyrics that I was confusing because when you're at skate country, that then you found out what they were really saying. You felt kind of dumb.
It was confusing even when you figured out what they were saying.
Lay it on me there, Tiger Cat.
Saturday night, I went downtown, working for the FBI. Whiskey bottles piling high, bootlegging boozer on the west side. Boozer means a bar.
This is like Saturday Night, Elton John. No?
What is the song? I can't.
It's an Elton John song.
Saturday night, I was downtown working for the FBI.
I thought it was Cruising with the FBI.
No, it's working for the FBI. Full of people doing wrong, just about to call the DA man. But there's some really strange stuff. Oh, it's Long Cool Woman.
Saturday night I was downtown working for the FBI, sitting in a nest of bad men, whiskey bottles piling high.
A pair of 45s made me open my eyes.
45s, like two guns or giant breasts?
You're right. On the second one.
Those were even numbered. You think? You know, it had like a 39B.
Well, it's a guy singing it. They don't know.
All right, I'll go with you there, but that's a thing worth exploring. What, 45s?
Yes.
Maybe it was like individual records, like Terry Jacks, Seasons in the Sun.
Would a woman walk into the bar with 45 records?
45s, maybe if they were a fan of like a short song. Okay, well, we're still off the breast thing that you were thinking of, you pervert.
And then one of the lyrics is jumping out of doors and tables. You're jumping out of doors and tables. Does that make sense to you?
I had to hear it in context, but yeah. See, this is what I was hoping for. It was more like less
well, the DA was
barbecue. Instead, it was, I mean, some of the stuff is so sophomoric or whatever, so non-satisfying. But this is the good stuff. So let's do a
kind of like Steve Miller lyrics.
Every single one of them. Oh, I had another one. It's by Ram Jam. And what it sounds like they're saying, "Oh, Black Betty, wham-a-lamb." And it turns out the actual lyric is, "Oh, Black Betty, wham-a-lamb." How the fuck is that a thing? I hate Ram Jam so bad. But honestly, it's just, they play that song in arenas at hockey games.
As they should. You know, I have them on for the next radio game.
If they canceled, Louis C.K. for what he did, they should cancel fucking Ram Jam. You don't got to cancel it. Just don't play it. That's all. I'm not asking for anyone to get in trouble. Find another song. Could you not find another song? It's like, oh, we only got these 5 to play. Gotta play. Oh, Black Betty, Wham Jam. Oh, no, you don't. How about a little Rush? How about a little Entre Nous by Rush from their? I think that's in Permanent Waves, but I got probably wrong and get in trouble twice.
We should have a nice exit of the podcast.
Do it.
We should do this every time. Get a hold of us on TheAscertainers@gmail.com.
Any one of you that does it, you'll get a free T-shirt, and those are coming soon.
We've been saying that for 72 episodes.
Soon.
And then you can text us on any platform you listen to us on, or on Facebook, send us a message. Thank you for listening.
We're trying. We just started trying, so keep at it. We're going to get better.
This is Mark and Jim saying goodbye.
Goodbye.